In the quiet suburbs of Tokyo, a family of 4 was brutally taken in their own home, leaving behind a trail of clues, but no answers. Join us as we dive into the chilling details, the baffling evidence, and the questions that still linger in the shadows. December 30th, 2000. In the tranquil Kamisoshigaya neighborhood of Setagaya, Tokyo, a family of 4 prepared for a quiet New Year's Eve. Mikio Miyazawa, his wife Yasuko, their daughter Nina, and their young son Rei had no idea that this would be their final night alive. What unfolded in their home was a crime so brutal, so bizarre, that it remains one of Japan's most perplexing unsolved mysteries. Over 2 decades later, with a mountain of evidence and a massive investigation, the killer's identity is still a chilling enigma. This is the story of the Setagaya family murders. Setagaya, a peaceful suburb in western Tokyo, was a place where families thrived in modest homes, far from the neon chaos of the city center. But by late 2000, the Kamisoshigaya neighborhood was changing. Soshigaya Park, a sprawling green space adjacent to the Miyazawa family's home, was expanding. The city offered substantial payments, sometimes exceeding 100 million yen, or nearly $1 million, to residents willing to relocate. Most of their neighbors had already left, leaving only 4 houses standing, including the Miyazawa's duplex, where Yasuko's mother, Haruko, lived next door. The Miyazawas, too, were reportedly planning to move after accepting a payment, but they would never get the chance. Mikio Miyazawa was a quiet, unassuming businessman. Yasuko was a devoted mother and educator, tutoring children in their home. Nina, their bright-eyed daughter, and Rei, their gentle son, filled the house with laughter. They were an ordinary family, living an ordinary life, until the night of December 30th, 2000, when an intruder slipped into their world. At around 11:30 p.m., as the Miyazawas slept, the killer entered through an open second-floor bathroom window, cutting the fly screen and leaving it on the ground outside, next to Soshigaya Park. The attack was swift and ferocious. 6-year-old Rei was the first to die, strangled in his bed. Mikio, alerted by the disturbance, rushed to confront the intruder, but was stabbed repeatedly with a sashimi knife, a slender blade that broke during the assault, leaving a fragment in his skull. Yasuko and Nina fought desperately, but the killer grabbed a kitchen knife from the home and stabbed them with such force that their bones were exposed. By midnight, the Miyazawa family was gone. But the killer didn't flee. Instead, he stayed in the house for hours, possibly as long as 10. He ate 4 cups of ice cream directly from the containers, biting chunks without a spoon. He drank barley tea from the fridge. He used the family's computer at 1:18 a.m., surfing the internet. He even used the toilet, leaving unflushed feces behind. He treated his own wounds with the family's first aid kit and sanitary napkins, leaving bloodstains that weren't the Miyazawas. And then, bizarrely, he left a pile of belongings on the couch: a sashimi knife, a sweater, a jacket, a scarf, a hip bag, gloves, a hat, 2 handkerchiefs, and a pair of slur sneakers. It was as if he wanted to be known, but not caught. When Yasuko's mother, Haruko, discovered the bodies at 10:40 a.m. on December 31st, the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, TMPD, launched one of the largest investigations in Japanese history. Over 246,000 investigators have worked the case, collecting more than 12,500 pieces of evidence. Led by Chief Takeshi Tsuchida, the TMPD uncovered a treasure trove of clues. The killer's blood, found on towels and sanitary napkins, revealed he had type A blood and was likely injured during the attack. DNA analysis painted a unique picture. The killer was male, possibly mixed race, with a father of East Asian descent, likely Korean, given the haplogroup OM122 marker, common in 1 in 4 to 5 Koreans, and a mother with Southern European ancestry, possibly from the Mediterranean or Adriatic region. But this could trace back to a distant ancestor, not necessarily a fully European mother. The killer's belongings were equally telling. The sweater, one of only 130 sold, was traced to Kanagawa Prefecture, but police could only account for 12 buyers. The Schlesinger sneakers, size 27.5 centimeters, were manufactured in South Korea and not sold in Japan, suggesting they were imported or bought abroad. The hip bag contained sand from 2 locations, a skate park in Japan and, astonishingly, the Nevada desert near Edwards Air Force Base in California. Traces of bird droppings, zelkova, and willow leaves were found in the sweater's pocket, along with Drakkar Noir cologne on a handkerchief, a scent popular among skateboarders in the 1980s. The sashimi knife, also purchased in Kanagawa, and a handkerchief with a cut, possibly used to grip the knife, added to the puzzle. Even the killer's diet was revealed. Analysis of his feces showed he'd eaten string beans and sesame seeds the day before. The TMPD conducted Operation Roller, a massive effort to collect fingerprints from locals. They sought help from Interpol, suspecting the killer might not be Japanese or still in Japan. A 20 million yen reward, about $187,000, was offered for information leading to an arrest, funded by the National Police Agency and a private organization. Yet, despite this wealth of evidence, no match was found in Japan's DNA or fingerprint databases. The killer had no criminal record, or he was a ghost. Why did the killer target the Miyazawas, and how has he evaded capture with so much evidence left behind? Several theories have emerged. One points to the nearby skate park, where Mikio reportedly clashed with skateboarders over noise. Could an angry skater, perhaps a young troubled individual, have sought revenge? The Drakkar Noir cologne and the sand from a Japanese skate park fuel this theory. Another theory suggests a military connection. The sand from Edwards Air Force Base raises questions about a U.S. serviceman or their child, possibly stationed at Yokota Air Base, just 40 minutes from Setagaya. The killer's mixed-race DNA and the rarity of interracial backgrounds in Japan at the time support this idea, though U.S. cooperation with Japanese investigations has been limited. A more chilling theory involves the government payments for the park expansion. Some speculate the killer was an acquaintance who knew the Miyazawas had received or were expecting a large sum, potentially over 100 million yen. But why leave behind nearly $2,000 in cash if robbery was the motive? And why the savage brutality? In 2015, journalist Fumiya Ichihashi claimed in his book Setagaya Ika Satsujin Jiken that the killer, a former South Korean military member, was hired by someone aware of the payment. Ichihashi even claimed to have met the suspect, whose fingerprints matched those at the scene, but this theory remains unproven and controversial, especially in South Korea, where Japan's fingerprinting of entrants would likely have identified a foreign suspect. As of 2025, the case remains open. Every year, officers distribute flyers at Seijuga Koenmei Station, displaying a mannequin dressed in the killer's clothing. In 2024, the Setagaya Ward Assembly urged expanded use of DNA technology, hoping to generate a facial composite or trace familial DNA, as seen in cases like the Golden State Killer. Takeshi Tsuchida, now a special advisor to a victim's families group, visits the Miyazawa grave annually, vowing to solve the case for Mikio's 93-year-old mother, Setsuko, who yearns for closure. 40 officers remain dedicated to the investigation, driven by the belief that this case is a barometer of public safety in Japan. The Setagaya family murders are a haunting paradox, a killer who left behind a trail of clues, DNA, fingerprints, clothing, even his own blood, yet remains a phantom. Was he a vengeful skater, a military drifter, or a hired killer after a payout? Why did he linger in the house, unafraid of being caught? And where is he now? As the years pass, the Miyazawa family's story endures as a plea for justice. If you have any information, contact the Seijo police station at 03-3482-0110. The 20 million yen reward still stands. Thank you for watching. If this story gripped you, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more true crime mysteries. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's your theory on the Setagaya killer? Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.